Now at 7 o'clock, U.S. Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer calling on the White House to crack down on Portland. What else the former Oregon Congresswoman had to say during yesterday's cabinet meeting in D.C. Plus,
to come to a decision to leave your child on the side of a freeway, I can't even wrap my head around that.
Yeah, a Washington father charged after abandoning his 4-year-old daughter on the side of a busy freeway. What police said led up to that situation. And we're also tracking thunderstorms across our area. Rod Hill joins us in just a bit. The latest on this KGW Weather Impact Alert Day.
But before we get to Rod, we go back to Canby, Swan Island Dahlias. We've been there all morning long talking about the largest dahlia grower in the entire United States of America. Their big annual event, the Dahlia Festival, underway. We'll have more details on that with more flowers coming up right here during the 7 o'clock hour of sunrise.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. We have Chris McGinnis standing by for a look at traffic. But first, Rob, we get right over to you because this is a KGW Weather Impact Alert morning because of thunder and lightning.
Yeah, we have showers in the area. Of course, that can mess with you to some degree as well, especially this time of the year. But the main reason is the thunderstorm threat. Now, here's radar right now showing you the last 4 hours. And it's been really pretty quiet in Portland, just some harmless light rain showers moving through. But overnight, there were some thunderstorms that moved through Multnomah County and Washington counties. And then the latest big cluster of storms has been going on for a while now. In fact, Chris noticed that the Weather Service has popped up an advisory for potential flash flooding from downpours from these storms. So we're keeping an eye on this. There's Fall City. So you're no doubtly hearing this. Dallas, you're probably seeing the skies light up just to your west. There's been 44 strikes in the last 30 minutes. So that's really active. Could there be more thunderstorms pop in Portland? Potentially. This is a scattered pattern. It's not something I can track or time out. I can simply tell you it's possible we're going to see more scattered showers through the morning. It's possible at some point we'll see some lightning redevelop in Multnomah County. 68 degrees is the current number. The impact alert up through at least 9 a.m. Then we'll reevaluate where we are. 76 at noon. We get up to about 86 with that continued shower chance this afternoon. Here's Chris.
Rod, thank you for that. All right, let's get you out the door and a quick check of the trip out of Clark County. Getting busier, of course, in the 7 o'clock hour at the Interstate Bridge. That's the live look at SR 14. A little farther south, the speeds actually tighten up a little bit more southbound, about 17 miles an hour or so through Kenton. There's the lineup on SR 500 southbound getting onto, or I should say westbound, trying to get onto I-205. And to Rod's point about the rain, looks like we've got some dampness on the road there. That's SR 500 again near I-205. Your southbound I-205 drive's in pretty good shape. I-5 right now running along at 14 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. Top story here at 7 o'clock. U.S. Labor Secretary and former Oregon Congresswoman Lori Chavez-DeRemer called on the Trump administration to, quote, crack down on Portland.
She used those words during a cabinet meeting at the White House yesterday. Center Rise reporter Thomas Schultz is in our newsroom with more on this. So, Thomas, what do we know?
Well, at that meeting, Lori Chavez-DeRemer thanked President Trump for the role ICE agents are playing nationwide and said she hopes more is done here in Oregon. Take a listen.
Thank you for what you are doing with your agents on ICE, and thank you for the prosecution that I hope you will come to Portland, Oregon, and crack down.
Comments, it's unclear exactly what kind of crackdown Chavez-DeRemer is looking for, but it presumably involves migrants. Recently, the White House has expanded the use of the National Guard. Earlier this month, troops were deployed in Washington, D.C. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi has warned Oregon and Portland could lose funding over sanctuary city policies. The state and city have argued refusing to help federal immigration authorities does not violate federal law.
Our officers will not be used as agents of ICE. And when we see federal abuse, we will bring it to light, we will take action, and take the fight to federal courts where we will win.
We're still looking to learn more about what kind of crackdown specifically Chavez-DeRemer is looking for. Once we find out that information, we'll bring it to you as soon as we can. Drew.
All right, Thomas with the latest for us on that local angle in Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, a new homeless shelter is set to open up next week in Northwest Portland, despite significant pushback from people who live in that neighborhood. The shelter is going to open up next Tuesday at Northwest 14th and Northrop with 40 beds to start and expanding to 100 beds after a month with the potential for even more beds down the line. This is going to be a low barrier facility. That means people who stay there do not have to be sober. The shelter is part of Mayor Keith Wilson's plan to end unsheltered homelessness in the city by the end of the year.
Major cities across the U.S. are turning away from harm reduction policies as a response to the ongoing drug crisis. Now, despite this, Multnomah County is standing firm in the support for this practice. Communities are now moving towards recovery first models instead. According to a recent New York Times article, San Francisco's new mayor has banned city-funded distribution of smoking supplies in public places like parks. Philadelphia stopped funding syringe programs, and parts of California have also shut down syringe exchanges. So just so you know, local harm reduction groups, what they do is they hand out clean drug supplies to prevent the spread of disease, but critics say it's enabling the crisis.
They're on the right path. And Multnomah County has failed the city of Portland, the residents of Portland, and the people that are doing drugs. Absolutely failed them.
I understand where that perception may come from, but harm reduction is not an enabling crisis. We're not encouraging people to use drugs. We're supporting people's real needs in that real moment.
Blair Best and our team at The Story takes a look at what the Trump administration says they will do to some groups that support harm reduction, a practice President Trump says facilitates illegal drug use.
The city is also launching a national search for its first long-term city administrator. The deadline to apply is September 25th. So Portland's current administrator, you see him right there, Mike Jordan, is planning to retire after overseeing the city's transition to a new form of government over the past year. Mayor Wilson will choose the new administrator, who will also need confirmation from City Council. Back in 2022, voters approved an overhaul to the city's government structure. It includes an expanded City Council that sets policy, while the mayor runs day-to-day operations with help from the city administrator.
Your working family's under attack. What do? Stand up, fight back.
The Evergreen School District and the union representing some of its workers are expected to continue negotiations today after workers went on strike yesterday. Union members say that they are fighting for a contract with better pay and more standard schedules, among other issues.
Our contract's prehistoric. Our wages are definitely way old. We're out here because a lot of things, but mainly the safety of the kids. There's not enough of us. The district doesn't want to pay well enough to retain people that have been here.
The district says it's offering paraeducators a 4.5% wage increase. They're also offering bus drivers a 3.5% increase. The first day of school has been delayed until next Tuesday as negotiations continue.
Firefighters didn't waste any time getting into this apartment building back on August 17th in Northwest Portland. They did so in order to get someone out of that burning building, and they did it using a high-risk technique that involves going through a window. We had a chance to talk to the firefighters involved in that rescue, who say they train hard for scenarios just like that one.
It was dark and smoky, and because I couldn't see, I'm using mostly touch to feel my way around the room. When I found the victim behind the door, then there was very little going through my mind.
It was one of those moments of, oh my gosh, this is actually happening.
Firefighters talked about that training that teaches them how to go through the window safely, get the victim away from the fire, and pull them back out through that same window they entered. All right, before we get back to Rod Hill in the Weather Center, we go out to this pretty setting in Canby. It's the home of Swan Island Dahlias. The farm's annual Dahlia Festival is underway. It runs through September 28th. Normal hours are Wednesdays through Sundays, 9 to 5:30, but they're also open next Monday because next Monday is Labor Day. Admission, parking, both free. So a great opportunity for a very cost-friendly adventure out, maybe with the family, to check out all the flowers out there, acres upon acres. If you want more information on this, go to dahlias.com.
And those flowers got a lot of drinking water overnight.
Yeah, some. You know, like here in Portland, China, it's been more damp than really wet. There have been some scattered downpours, but a lot of us have only had basically a trace of rain in these scattered showers. We have the impact alert up primarily because we have had thunderstorms, and to China's point, some downpours in the area overnight and even in our region early this morning. So just letting you know, it's still possible. Maybe you're in a spot where you haven't seen anything, but maybe at 8:45 this morning, all of a sudden a thunderstorm pops right over you. So that's what we're alerting you to, is that possibility. Of course, lightning is one of the leading weather-related killers in our country. Take shelter when thunder roars, of course, and indoors until the storm passes. Here's the big radar picture. We've got rain showers out in Baker City. Some of that rain later today could be heavy. We've had thunderstorms this morning in central Oregon, nothing currently. And then we've got this big thunderstorm cluster. It's been sitting down near Falls City, just south of McMinnville. You can see in Portland up to the north, just some scattered, mostly light showers, but the showers are scattered across our entire region. And here's what's been going on for well over an hour now. Thunderstorm cluster. There's a new batch of strikes that has just developed between Grand Ronde and Falls City. This cluster to your south has been sitting there for over an hour. Still 36 strikes in the last 30 minutes, so very active indeed. And I wish I could pinpoint if there's going to be another cluster of storms, and if so, where it's going to be. I can't. I can just throw it out there that this is something we're watching and warning you for. 68 degrees is our temperature. It's a cloudy, warm, humid morning. 70 in downtown. That 68 is out at PDX. 71 in Troutdale. So it's another really warm, just kind of damp feeling start to our day. It's cooler down in Salem, Kaiser, and then Dallas, where you're likely seeing a light show off to your west this morning. You're sitting at 60. Most areas in our state have at least a chance of a scattered shower and thunderstorm threat. Inland areas, more than not, will be up into the 80s today. It's really socked in along the coast this morning. You've actually had some lightning strikes south of Astoria reach the Pacific waters as well. So we got the impact alert up this morning, 86 degrees. There's actually the continued chance of a scattered shower and even a thunderstorm in the forecast into early Thursday morning. After that, tomorrow afternoon's all dry, no rain chance. Friday could be 90, all dry. And then we're still eyeing the chance of a shower Saturday afternoon into Sunday morning. That's from a Pacific system that may or may not develop, but we said that about the last couple of mornings with rain in the forecast, Chris, and lo and behold, we've had some pretty good thunderstorm clusters pop up, sir. It's been an interesting morning, interesting forecast. All right, the drive's starting to heat up a little bit as well. Let's take it to I-205. This is the live look right now in West Lynn, southbound coming through the construction zone over the Abernathy Bridge, slow and go there. And of course, that slowing starts back on the Oregon City side of the bridge, so 11 miles an hour that drive between Oregon City, Gladstone, Oregon City, and West Lynn. The speeds do pick up once you get a little farther south. Speaking of which, down into the Wilsonville area, that northbound commute really starting to tighten up now. This has happened in the last 10 minutes or so. We went from free flowing to not quite stop and go, but it's definitely getting a little bit busier on that side of town. 17 minutes right now, your inbound Sunset commute, by the way, that gets you in from Hillsborough. And a reminder right now, Max yellow and green line delays. Guys, TriMet's telling us they are having some mechanical issues causing some light delays on the yellow and green lines right now. We'll keep you posted.
Thank you, Chris.
My jaw dropped, stomach dropped, everything dropped.
Taylor Swift is engaged.
Swifties are losing their minds after pop icon Taylor Swift announced her engagement to Travis Kelce. We'll have more reaction coming up next when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues in just 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On weather impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back to Sunrise. You know, sometimes I find it difficult to find the right headspace to deliver some of the more difficult headlines of the morning, like this one. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce announced that they're engaged.
Because you thought you had a chance with Taylor Swift, or?
Come on. Come on, I can't. Why is this such big news?
It's going to be weird to have Travis Kelce just be referred to as
Mr. Swift?
Yeah, Taylor Swift's husband. From the photos to the ring, Emily Ikeda has all the details.
After 2 years of dating, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's widely followed fairy tale is entering its next chapter. And Swifties can't calm down about it.
My jaw dropped, stomach dropped, everything dropped.
The power couple announcing their engagement in a joint post on social media today, alongside pictures of the chief star on one knee and the eye-popping ring. The caption reading, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married," accompanied by Swift's song So High School, released during the Eras tour, where she mirrored one of Kelce's signature celebrations. The NFL today congratulating the happy couple. The earth-shaking announcement even interrupting the U.S. Open.
Taylor Swift is engaged.
And reaching the White House.
I think he's a great player. I think he's a great guy. And I think that she's a terrific person. So I wish them a lot of luck.
The hype temporarily crashing Instagram for some, while venues have already started volunteering to host the highly anticipated I Do's. News of the engagement comes 13 days, Swift's favorite number, after she appeared on Travis Kelce and his brother Jason's podcast.
It's called The Life of a Showgirl.
That episode, where the marketing mastermind announced her next album, broke the record for most concurrent views for a podcast on YouTube, with 1.3 million people watching simultaneously. Swift swooning over the football star.
This is sort of what I've been writing songs about wanting to happen to me since I was a teenager.
It's a love story, and now Taylor Swift is saying yes.
And the internet quickly turned their engagement photos into memes, including Oregon State football. The team posting these photos on social media, calling attention to their first game of the season, which kicks off this Saturday at 7:30 from Reser Stadium. And I'm sure Puddles, at some point, University of Oregon's mascot, will come up with something very clever here pretty soon. If he hasn't already, I need to check Twitter.
It is crazy to me. I mean, the one woman in that story, my jaw dropped, my stomach dropped. I was like, everything dropped. They just announced an engagement, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, America's sweetheart.
One of my earliest childhood memories, can I say this, Rod? Because I can tell you don't know what to say or how to get away from this.
Yes.
One of my earliest childhood memories was back in 1981. I was about 7 years old. I do remember still to this day the wedding between Prince Charles and Lady Diana.
Oh, yeah, that was a big deal.
I mean, what a big deal that was. So I know it happens over the course of time now and again.
Yes.
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
It is going to be curious to me to see what they decide to do. They decide to go grand stage,
Bezos
crazy
type.
big wedding, or do they decide to do something a little more intimate and family related and close personal friends and that type of thing?
I can't wait to find out.
I can't wait to There you have it. Drew Carney on the edge of his seat, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we have this up. Red flag warning, high fire danger. This is the west slope of the Cascades up and down Oregon into Washington, and then extending into parts of central Oregon. This is for thunderstorm potential producing new fire starts. So FYI on that. So far, we're not getting a ton of rain with what's been going on. We do have scattered showers in the area. It's been mostly light. Some of the thunderstorm clusters have produced heavy downpours, but not all of them this morning. Here's the setup. Low over Idaho, a smaller low, and this is the new one, has developed into the western portion of our state. So it's basically kind of a broad, overall weak, elongated area of low pressure. If you look at the indices we look at as forecasters to determine if you could have some convection, some building cumulus clouds, some thunderstorms, we're really unstable outside. which is the reason, one of the reasons, and tracking this weak area of low pressure, that I've had this chance of showers in our forecast going back to yesterday. And of course, yesterday morning we had the thunderstorms down around Corvallis and Philomath. So here we are right now. It's just rain out in Baker City, but you folks are gearing for thunderstorms and maybe some downpours. We've got this big cluster of storms that just continues to kind of blow up. I'll show you a closer look. That's south of McMinnville. Later today, you could make the argument there would be more scattered shower activity this afternoon in southwest Washington than Oregon, but we'll see. It's really, for a number of reasons, hard to track or pinpoint any of this. So this is the one that's been going on for about an hour and a half now, south of Falls City, this outbreak. Here's the new outbreak that's triggered and is producing big-time heavy downpours between Falls City and there's Grand Ronde, and then this would work itself all the way over to the coast, it looks like. So definitely we have areas, and here's the coast itself, which all cameras show the coast is just socked in this morning. 57, Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. A little brightness under mostly cloudy skies in Salem. Good morning, 62 for you. And after some thunderstorms in the 2 to 3 o'clock hour overnight, Portland has just seen some scattered light rain showers in Multnomah County and surrounding counties generally. 68 is the number. As you look at current temperatures, 62 up in Kelso. If you have plans this afternoon, I want to reiterate, all I can do is tell you the scattered showers continue to be possible and there could be a thunderstorm. But I can't tell you more than that. Maybe if you're doing something outdoors this afternoon, it's partly cloudy and completely dry and completely fine. But I don't want you to be surprised if all of a sudden you're in the one spot that gets a new thunderstorm cluster even later today, because it's possible. We'll be in the 80s. It's going to be another humid, kind of sticky day. Southwest Washington, I mentioned, might have more rain in the afternoon than Oregon, but we'll see. I can't overly hang my hat on that. We have the impact alert up through at least 9 o'clock this morning. See what happens. We've got dry weather with no rain chance starting tomorrow afternoon into Saturday morning, then a new rain chance Saturday afternoon into Sunday morning, and then a mostly sunny 83-degree Labor Day Monday. And that is your update. Here's Chris.
Rod, thank you for that. Let's take you to Beaver Creek Road. This is actually one of those areas that looks like it's seen at least a light shower, right? This is Highway 213 near Beaver Creek Road. The traffic is actually rolling along just fine on that side of town. We got the normal busyness there. Door number 2 takes us to the Sunset. Highway 26, riding the brakes a bit, coming down the hill from the zoo. And south of town, I-5 through Wilsonville. The traffic actually really starts building in the Charbonneau area, so just south of the Boone Bridge. It's pretty slow and go there, and then the speeds pick up just a bit. And last but not least, through North Portland, there's the typical parking lot for this hour of a Wednesday morning drive. This is not unusual. It is busy. I-5 southbound now, slow and go, getting you in from that side of town to the tune of about 16 minutes now. From Main Street to the Fremont Bridge, here's a look at some of the other drive times right now. Highway 26, 21 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough. Guys, back to you.
All right, sounds good, Chris. A huge home explosion in Missouri. You see right there, was caught on a doorbell security camera. We're going to have more details on the story and other national headlines when the Sunrise Show continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Here's a look at some world and national headlines with your Morning Rush. President Trump's new 50% tariff on imports from India are now in effect. This is a punishment for India for buying Russian oil as Russia's war with Ukraine continues. This tariff could also strain relations with India, as India's prime minister is set to visit China this week. The U.S., by the way, collected $22 billion in tariffs on Friday of last week alone, bringing this month's total to nearly $30 billion, a new record. The surge stems from a deferred payment system for importers. This comes as the exemption for duty-free goods under $800 expires this Friday. A huge house explosion in Missouri there. At least 5 people we know were hurt. Doorbell camera video shows the blast tearing through that home, blew out the front door, blew out the garage, the windows. It sent flames and smoke into the air in that neighborhood. More than 20 other homes nearby were also damaged. The cause of the explosion remains under investigation. And one last headline here. Popular pet food brand Viva Raw is recalling some products over possible salmonella and listeria contamination. The recall includes the brand's beef, turkey, and chicken, dog, and cat foods sold across the country between July 2nd and August 21st. So far, though, no illnesses have been reported. Customers are urged to throw the food away. And that's a look at your Morning Rush. Coming up in our next half hour, new concerns over the safety of the Multnomah County Central Library in downtown Portland after multiple people were arrested following a stabbing that happened just outside the library. We have a live report on the latest coming up. Plus,
there's so many different variables that could happen to a young child on the side of 512.
A 4-year-old left on the side of a busy Washington freeway as her dad kicks her out of the car. What happened next when we come back?
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We're coming up on 7:29 on your Wednesday morning drive, and the drive times are picking up a little bit. Nothing's too way out of whack just yet, but it's getting busy out there. I-5 from Wilsonville looks a little wet on the roads there. Rod will be along in a minute to talk about some of the showers that are across the region this morning. I-205 out of Clark County, a little busy coming off the Glen Jackson Bridge, of course, and the I-5 drive. This is the slowest one of our commutes so far. 20 minutes gets you in from Main Street south to the Fremont Bridge. Rod?
Thank you for that, Chris. You know, today's forecast is a perfect example of a lot of times we talk about possibilities in a large area, let's say from Longview all the way down through Salem. And often what we say happens, but happens only in one or two spots, while the rest of us are like, hey, it's not bad outside. That's kind of the case this morning. Let me show you. It's been just light rain showers over the last couple of hours in Portland. A lot of you are fairly dry. But here we have this big thunderstorm cluster, and the most active lightning right now is between Falls City and Grand Ronde. So the chance for showers and storms continues in the forecast, but in scattered locations that I cannot time and I cannot pinpoint. Today's high getting up to about 86 degrees.
.30 half hour of your sunrise show, and we start this half hour in the Dahlia fields at Swan Island Dahlias out in Canby. Don't go to Swan Island. This farm is located in Canby, and they're putting on their annual Dahlia Festival right now. So that particular flower is called Michaela Miranda.
Aww.
Perhaps named after the 7 o'clock hour producer of the
Michaela.
Sunrise Show. Yes, we have Michaela Andrade producing this hour of the show. Beautiful flower for a beautiful coworker. How about that?
Oh,
Poetry on a
that's the nicest thing I think I've ever heard you say.
Yep.
Ever, actually.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for you to do it.
Yeah.
Kind of had to bear down and
Taste
spit
like
it out.
Vinegar
Yeah.
coming out of your mouth.
But she is a fantastic producer, I can tell you that much. We have a fantastic forecast for your Wednesday. I'm not sure if it's fantastic.
She's going to kill you.
I'm not sure if it's fantastic. It just felt like an easy way to transition.
Thank you. It's okay. All right, here's a look at our Doppler radar. Scattered showers out there. Of course, we had this in the forecast going back. Actually, Monday we started to talk about this, and now here we are Wednesday morning. After seeing thunderstorms yesterday around Corvallis and Philomath, the biggest outbreak since the sun came up is this cluster of storms that's sitting here, now moving up into the Coast Range. There's Grand Ronde, now getting a light show, and all of this is picking up steam and headed toward you folks in Lincoln City. We had some strikes earlier this morning offshore, make it just south of Astoria. Portland, we had thunderstorms in the 2 to 3 o'clock hour last night. Since then, it's primarily been just some scattered light showers in the area with mostly cloudy skies. We're at 68 degrees. We do have an impact alert up for the continuing chance that there could be more lightning in the area at some point this morning. That's your update.
Rod, thanks for that. Let's get you out the door with a look at the roads. We take you to Wilsonville. That is the northbound I-5 commute zipping over the Boone Bridge. Well, not really zipping. It's slow from Charbonneau to Wilsonville Road, and then the speeds pick up a little bit as you get farther north. Meanwhile, the Banfield, Interstate 84, again, getting a little tight on that side of town, but our slowest freeway commute by far, at least right now, is the southbound I-5 drive through North Portland. There's the live look up near the Expo Center. Our speed sensors indicate 19 miles an hour, or now maybe less, through the Kenton area. So with that in mind, the drive times, 20 minutes, get you southbound on I-5 to get you from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Despite that, I don't have any major unexpected delays just yet. True, China?
All right, thank you, Chris. Top story here at 7:30. Police arrested 3 people after a stabbing in downtown Portland earlier this week, right outside the Multnomah County Central Library.
Last month, there was a deadly shooting in the same area outside the library. Both incidents have now prompted concerns. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live with the details on the latest investigation. Corey.
That's right. It happened Monday just after 5 p.m. The 44-year-old victim had just left the library, saw a disturbance, and tried to intervene. Now, one of the suspects stabbed him multiple times, while 2 others assaulted him with skateboards, according to police. Those suspects ran where they were, but they were later found in Holiday Park, where they were arrested. They're identified as 21-year-old Jariah Williams, 18-year-old Anthony Nicholas, and 18-year-old Daviana Anderson. The victim is expected to be okay. And KGW also spoke with one man who was at the library right after that incident happened.
It's unsettling, especially since I'm outdoors a lot. And I walked up and the police were there and they were just announcing that there was no more danger, but they wouldn't quite spill what happened.
Now, this is the second violent incident to take place near the library in just the last 2 months. Another one was at the beginning of June. That one, a deadly shooting coming up in our next hour. We'll talk more with library officials about what they're doing to keep the area safe. Back to you guys.
All right, Corey Johnson live for us there in downtown Portland. Meanwhile, a man is headed to jail for nearly 6 years after shooting someone with a dart. Security video shows what happened last July at the 162nd Avenue Mac stop over in East Portland. 40-year-old Joseph Nays used a slingshot to shoot that man in the white tank top there in the back with the dart. The victim suffered a collapsed lung. We're going to show you an angle from a different point of view, and you can see right there the moment he was shot. He gets hit right there in his upper right back. Police say these two didn't know each other, but they also said that the victim broke up a fight between Nays and his partner earlier that week.
A math teacher at Salem Middle School has resigned after he was charged with several counts of criminal mistreatment involving alleged child abuse. Reese Sorensen, who taught at Parish Middle School, is accused of physically harming two of his own children and withholding food from them. The Salem Reporter, which broke the story, reports the kids are just 6 weeks old.
The owner of the now closed West Coast Game Park Safari in Bandon has been indicted on more than 300 counts of animal neglect. Brian Tenney came under investigation earlier this year when Oregon State Police served search warrants at the property. Police say they found meth, cocaine, and dozens of firearms. They also seized more than 300 animals. The Coos County Sheriff's Office says Tenney has already posted bail.
A Washington father is facing charges after he allegedly abandoned his 4-year-old daughter on the side of a busy freeway in Puyallup, about an hour south of Seattle.
As Madeline Carter reports, witnesses kept this wild situation from becoming even worse.
I can't even wrap my head around that.
No parent can.
To come to a decision to leave your child on the side of a freeway?
Especially not this dad of two, Trooper Shannon McKenzie.
This isn't a common occurrence. I've only seen it just the one other time.
It happened again Saturday night on busy Highway 512 in Puyallup. 34-year-old Morgan Barnes was driving near Pioneer Avenue when court documents say he told troopers his 4-year-old daughter was being disruptive and loud in the back seat. A witness watched as the man's SUV veered across the freeway, stopping abruptly. This is where he left his 4-year-old girl, right beside the line that separates the shoulder from speeding traffic. People aren't meant to be here, let alone children.
Maybe the child would have got hit by a car or abducted.
Multiple drivers stopped.
There's so many different variables that could happen to a young child on the side of 512.
Preventing the little girl from entering the road. She told troopers her dad had just taken her to the movie theater. Barnes eventually came back to this scene. He was taken to jail and has pleaded not guilty to felony abandonment. Court documents say he admitted it was a poor decision, telling troopers his wife is currently deployed with the Army and he has been under significant stress caring for 5 kids on his own. The one left here is safe, in the custody of another family member, ordered by the court to have no contact with her dad.
Your time now is 7:37. New infrared mapping shows the flat fire in Central Oregon covers just over 23,000 acres. It remains the largest wildfire in the state right now and is 7% contained. The flat fire is burning roughly 2 miles northeast of Sisters. Firefighters say cooler temperatures yesterday morning helped them gain some ground, but level 1, 2, and 3 evacuation orders remain in place. Actor Rainn Wilson, known for his role in The Office, has a house in the area. Here's what he posted on Instagram.
Hey guys. Here's a fun fact. I have just undergone, along with my wife, Holiday Reinhorn, and family, an evacuation from our Oregon mountain cabin.
So Wilson says this is the 4th time he's had to evacuate in the last 6 years. The last time was from his home in Los Angeles during the Palisades fire.
All right, we'll get to Rod Hill in just a moment, but we want to spend some time in the flower fields this morning. Out in Canby, Swan Island Dahlias is hosting their annual Dahlia Festival now through September 28th. We've got some great looks at these flowers this morning thanks to Sunrise photographer Eric Patterson. Quick details on the event. It runs again through the end of September. Normally open Wednesdays through Sundays from 9 until 5:30, but this coming weekend, they'll also be open on Monday. That's the holiday. Labor Day is this Monday. Parking and admission always free at the farm. You can find out more info at dahlias.com.
It's just so pretty out there.
Yeah.
Speaking of pretty.
Oh, don't do that.
You did it. It's been done.
Hey, Drew, they have like a fun farmer store and all that out there. I know you.
Oh yeah, they do. No, I was supposed to. It has a cute name too that the owner wanted me to share. But the fact of the matter is, they do have a gift shop there with a whole bunch of stuff to buy. And I guess if you're really into this sort of thing, you can buy your tubers now at the farm that you would plant, like I guess in the fall, and then they would pop up this time next year.
Okay.
Again, dahlias.com.
Thank you
for more info.
Well, I know Drew Carney always knows all. Been going to these festivals for what, 20, 30 years
73
now?
years.
Something
this
like
July.
that. Long time. The festival king right there, Drew Carney. All right, we've got rain showers out in Baker City. We've had some thunderstorms this morning around Bend. Currently not showing that, but showing showers still in the area. And then here's the big cluster, and I'll show you that close up in a moment, south of McMinnville. Portland had thunderstorms in the 2-3 o'clock hour overnight, and since then we've been kind of quiet, just with some scattered rain showers. But here's the catch. As rain showers continue through your morning, I can't stand here and tell you that there's not going to be another cluster of storms come into Portland. There may or may not be. So we have an impact alert up through at least mid-morning just because of these possibilities. Now to what has turned out to be the main light show of the morning. Here's Grand Ronde. There's Falls City. We've got new strikes now just north of Dallas, and all this activity seems to be making a beeline toward the Oregon coast and toward Lincoln City, where it is absolutely foggy and socked in with low clouds this morning. So Portland, we've had just a touch of some light moisture on the roadways in the last couple of hours, but we have the continued threat that there could be some new thunderstorm activity here in Multnomah County. So we'll see. 68 is the number outside right now. Here's the forecast map this afternoon. Everybody, for the most part, has a continued scattered shower and thunderstorm threat, and it's mainly 80s inland and 60s at the coast. 7-day forecast. We have the impact alert up through at least 9 this morning, and then we'll kind of reevaluate and see what's going on. But I am leaving the shower chance, which is what I've had for the last couple of days now, all the way into Thursday morning. And then Thursday afternoon, this pattern ends. We'll be dry. Friday could be 90. And then we're tracking a new low center out in the Pacific that may or may not get close enough to produce some showers Saturday afternoon into early Sunday morning. Your Labor Day Monday is completely dry, and here is Chris McGinnis.
Rod, been an active morning for you. All right, let's get you out the door with a quick look at the roads. Got a couple of slow spots popping up out there, but nothing jumping off the page as abnormally slow. 23 minutes your I-5 southbound drive from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. That's normal slow and go action. Over in the Banfield, it's tight. 84 westbound out near 82nd Avenue. You can see the drive there, and in fact, we'll go out a little farther to the east. This is right underneath those I-205 overpasses and the max tracks, and you can see traffic, of course, puttering along there. And the Sunset over the west side, the headlights there, that's the inbound shot out near Murray Boulevard. That, of course, a little slow and go as well. Last check now, we're up to nearly 30 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough to I-405. Drew, China?
Thank you, Chris. Still to come on Sunrise, Cracker Barrel cracking under pressure 1 week after announcing their new logo following massive backlash. That story plus more on your consumer headlines when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and tonight at 6:30 on The Story, another act of violence near Multnomah County Central Library in downtown Portland. Now, one of the city's business leaders is calling out the county chair. Watch The Story tonight live at 6:30 on KGW or anytime on our TV app, KGW+. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW+. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW+. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Uber Eats delivery drivers in Seattle will soon get a big payout after the company has agreed to pay $15 million settlement after the city of Seattle claimed it violated city pay laws. So under Uber, it will pay money to more than 16,000 delivery drivers in Seattle. One major part of the suit involved Uber's Boost promotion, a surge pricing feature that promises higher pay during busy hours. Officials say Uber misled drivers about how much they'd earn and didn't provide a clear breakdown of job payments. Drivers also reported being underpaid or not paid at all during canceled orders. The transparency and wage laws were passed by previous Seattle city councils, and last year the city council considered lowering the minimum wage for app-based workers, citing Uber's complaints of rising costs and reduced demand. Here's a look at some of your consumer headlines. Cracker Barrel is ditching its new logo and going back to its old branding after backlash online. The company faced criticism for dropping the image of an old man and a barrel, with some accusing it of going woke. Even President Trump weighed in, urging the company to bring back the original logo and praising the move when it did. Apple expected to release its new iPhones early next month. The company's next launch event is at its campus on September 9th, and Apple plans to stream the event on its website. The company usually makes announcements for its new phone model in September, and this year's model would be the iPhone 17. Yeah, and West Coast company is taking its flying car on a cross-country tour. So take a look at this. This is what it looks like. This is what a flying car looks like, people. The all-electric, zero-emission aircraft from Pivotal can take off and land vertically. No runway needed here. The single-seater made a demo stop in Santa Cruz, California last week. Starting price, a little bit out of my range, a little bit out of all of our ranges. $190,000 for this thing. Oh, my bad. Okay. You guys have been here longer. I know you get paid more. This is $190,000 again. But you don't need a pilot's license to fly it, which I think is dangerous. But here we are.
That's wild.
How do you not need a pilot's license for starters? I'm with you on that.
I feel like once these become popular, if they become popular, there will be a crackdown on that. That's just my...
I was going to say something, and then I got hit with that weather impact alert graphic, and that hit me like a strike of lightning.
Yes.
Which we've seen.
Yes,
lightning
we
strikes
have
around
indeed.
the area
Great
this morning.
segment.
Thank you.
And that is our story, the fact that, and we made a big deal of this yesterday, the weather modeling is not showing any of this. So the only way you can forecast this is to roll up your sleeves and do good old-fashioned hand analysis forecasting, which we did back on Monday, and we correctly told you this would be a possibility into tomorrow morning. So that part of the forecast has not changed. Here's the current setup. Big low in Idaho, a weaker low is extended into western Oregon. This was at 3 o'clock last night. Christopher Garcia sent me a bunch of lightning photos, including this double strike photo. And he says he was looking toward Camas and Gresham when he took this photo. There really hasn't been, that I know, or have seen any lightning or even heavy rain showers in the Portland area overall since that 2 to 3 o'clock hour overnight. Since that time, the thunderstorm activity's primarily been down here in between Salem, or to the west of Salem, and to the coast. So let's take you in right now. See scattered showers, Portland, not much. Most areas have only picked up a little bit more than a trace of rain. Here's where the show has been this morning. And this keeps shifting, and it keeps extending westward toward the coast. It started off south of Falls City. Now we've got storms north of Dallas. There's an active strike south of Amity. You've got some strikes around Grand Ronde. So this is the main event. And here's the problem with this kind of weak, meandering, unstable weather pattern. It's impossible for me to track anything. I can't tell you if there's going to be another spike of storm activity later this morning or this afternoon. I can tell you there might be, and I sure as heck can't even take a wild guess, I just can't, at where such a cluster of storms might set up. So all we can do is just throw it out there, saying we're unstable into tomorrow morning. Scattered showers continue to be possible. You could see some thunder lightning, and then we kind of wait and see what we get. This morning, the big cluster is right where I showed you, making its way through the Coast Range and near Falls City and Dallas. Here we are. This is clouds, and that's Tillamook Head, and of course, Seaside's right there. This is from the camera at Gerhardt by the Sea Resort, looking down to the south. The coast is totally socked in with clouds, in some cases fog. The valley's mostly cloudy. Here's our Shalem tasting room camera in Sherwood. We're at 64 degrees. It's still a warm, humid air mass. PDX is 68, and look at the Dow, 79 degrees. I think your low this morning has not gotten below 78, so a really warm morning for you. So what we just talked about, the shower thunderstorm threat in scattered locations or spotty locations continues. Is it possible that your afternoon is simply partly sunny where you are and dry and you're fine, it's just sticking in the 80s? Yeah. In fact, that'll probably be the way it plays out for most of us. Southwest Washington, I have a hunch there could be more scattered shower activity up north of the Columbia this afternoon than we see south. But again, kind of tough to tell. Joe Dirt, I'm told from our director, Brian Matthews, this is from a movie some years back, because I love the name, Joe Dirt. All right, Dog of the Day at kgw.com is the email address for Dog of the Day. 86 today, the impact alert this morning, 87 tomorrow. The shower chance ends completely after early morning. All dry Friday, all dry Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon into Sunday. Another one of those. Maybe we get something, maybe we don't. Shower chances. Labor Day Monday still looks completely dry. And here is Chris.
Okay, thanks for that, Rod. Let's take you over to one of our really slow spots this morning. I'm going to zoom into Clackamas County, I-205 southbound. Now, I don't have any crashes to report or anything like that, but man, that is puttering along south of Clackamas. So that 4-mile drive from Clackamas to West Lynn, or Oregon City anyway, is really thick. This is the live look right now in the Gladstone area. Speed sensors show 14 miles an hour or less, getting you down towards the Abernathy Bridge, and then traffic speeds pick up a little bit as you get north of that. Sorry for the box over that, but that's I-5 through North Portland. Up near Lombard, your drive-in from Main Street now has definitely ticked up in the last several minutes. We're creeping in on 30 minutes now to get you in from Main Street, just south of Hazeldale to the Fremont Bridge. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Well, a lot of kids started the school year yesterday, including Portland Public School kids. As the largest district in Oregon starts a new year, it's also dealing with some big challenges.
Superintendent Kimberly Armstrong says she's excited to see students grow without cell phones anywhere in sight, but is also concerned about declining enrollment. KGW's Evan Watson brings us more.
It's the first morning walk of the year for students at Chapman Elementary. Parents sharing in those nerves.
More so on our side than his side, yeah, for sure.
My wife, she gets a little teary-eyed, and I'm anxious to get things started.
An important start for Portland Public Schools and its superintendent, joining students in a name game at Tubman Middle School.
What high school are you going to next?
Grant High School. Okay, who else?
This is the first year that all of Portland Public Schools will adopt a district-wide cell phone policy, requiring students to keep their phones off and away all day, including lunch and passing periods.
We realize that there's some things we're going to have to problem solve, but we stand behind distraction-free classrooms and are really excited to see how that results in increased learning this academic year.
Superintendent Armstrong says the district hopes to close on a building for the Center for Black Student Excellence by December, more than 5 years after voters approved funding.
If all goes well, I'm hoping that we're doing some ribbon cutting this time next year.
At Tubman Middle School on Tuesday, 8th graders showed 6th graders the ropes.
Our group is really good and I have energy, and I think this is really fun. I'm having fun.
The other students can look up to them while they're in school.
A noisy lunchroom, a welcome sign for school administrators who are worried about declining enrollment trends. Portland State researchers say fewer young children are enrolling in PPS, the birth rate is declining, and the district is projected to lose about 9% of its students by 2030.
We absolutely have to address some of our enrollment woes in making sure that we're properly balanced across Portland Public Schools. That is a high priority.
Armstrong says that could mean shifting staff members from one school to another to find the right balance, all while the district looks to modernize 3 high schools with falling enrollments.
We want all of our students to be in the best learning environment possible. We want all of our staff to have the conditions that support high quality teaching and learning, and we're going to do whatever it takes to make that happen.
Coming up at 8, former Oregon Congresswoman, now U.S. Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer is calling for a crackdown on Portland, what she told the Trump administration and what it could mean for Oregon. Plus,
he would be here but for ChatGPT. I 100% believe that.
Parents of a teenager in California say ChatGPT helped their son take his own life. They detail how in an emotional story that also involves a lawsuit aimed at the makers of ChatGPT. We'll have it for you at 8.